Hello and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time, but I'm hoping I can post more videos more frequently now. And today we are doing Week 18 NFL predictions. There's one more week of the season, so you're getting one more prediction video. And don't worry, I will still be doing playoff predictions for this year as well. Now, it's not really going to be a part 2 to this video, but I will be posting another video on what will happen, what the playoff picture would look like if this were to happen in real life, the results of the games here. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. And our first game is going to be Chiefs in Denver taking on the Denver Broncos. Now, it does seem to be a pretty one-sided affair. The Chiefs can run the ball well. It's something they have improved on around midway through the season. At least I think so. And coming into Denver, I think they're going to take the win 35-17. So now, what the Chiefs need right here, they need a win, and then they need a Titans loss to take that number 1 seed in the AFC. And they'll need a couple of they won't need a couple of other things to happen. That's for another team. The Broncos are eliminated. They have so it's really a meaningless game for them. I think they'll still try to win anyways. But right now the Chiefs in the number 2 seed, it's not good for them. Unless the Titans are able to win and the Titans are able to lose and they're able to win. So that's 35-17 there. Now, you have your other Saturday game. It's the Cowboys taking on the Eagles in Philadelphia. The Cowboys really not playing for too much. They have the division locked in. The Eagles, now they're playing for something as well. They're fighting for their playoff chances. And one thing about teams in Week 17 or now Week 18 is that whoever wants it more will win. That's going to be what's going to go through the entire week. That's going to be the one thing that matters. And in this case, the Eagles simply want it more than the Cowboys. It's going to be a close game, but I think that the Eagles are going to manage to take that victory 38-35 and lock themselves in a playoff spot. Now you've got your other NFC East matchup. You've got the Washington football team taking on the New York Football Giants. Yeah, both teams already eliminated. Nothing really to play for in this game. Washington, your quarterback was injured this entire year. They'll be hoping to go out with the win. The Giants, they're hoping to go out with the win as well, as there was a little bit of controversy with that Week 17 bit with Washington last year and the Eagles. But I think that in all, the Giants are going to be able to take this game. It's going to be a close game, but I think they're going to come out 19-13 in this game. Let's hope the Washington Stadium doesn't collapse on Daniel Jones this time, though. Okay, now we've got our AFC North matchup, the Browns and the Bengals. Browns, after that ugly game against the Steelers, they are eliminated. And basically the Bengals are looking for that. They can't get the number 1 seed, but they're looking for that number 2 seed, hoping to play another team in the playoffs that's a little bit easier. I think that the Bengals are going to take this one pretty comfortably in the end. They're going to take this one by 23 points. I think that the Bengals have what it takes to make not a deep run in the playoffs, but maybe get past the wild card round. Now you've got your other AFC North matchup here as well. It's the Steelers taking on the Ravens. The Ravens need a bundle of things to happen today. So, if I'm correct, I may be missing a few things here, but exactly what the Ravens need to win. They need to beat the Steelers. They need the Raiders to lose. They need the Chiefs to lose. And they're gonna need the Colts to lose as well. So you're gonna need a miracle basically, Baltimore. I like Lamar Jackson, but I just don't think that they're gonna do this, especially the Chargers. That's gonna be definitely problematic. So I think they are gonna beat the Steelers, but I don't see them getting that playoff spot. And now you've got my Green Bay Packers, who have already locked up the number 1 seed, who will most likely be resting their starters. They'll be without Devontae Adams, without Aaron Rodgers. They'll probably be out with Preston Smith and some of our top guys on defense like Crystal Douglas and Devondre Campbell. So I think that the Lions definitely have a shot, and I think it's going to be a close game. But I think that in the end, the Packers are barely going to take this one out. If the Packers are playing their starters, this is a 50-0 game. But the Packers resting their starters, I'll give the Lions a fighting chance. I just don't see them beating even the Packers' backups. There you go, 34-31. And now you have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are simply not a good team, right? They have the number 1 pick locked in it for them this year. And this game against the Colts is really just going to come down to who runs the ball better. And when you've got Jonathan Taylor in one backfield, I think that whoever runs the ball better, whoever runs the ball better is going to come down to Jonathan Taylor versus another running back. Is he potentially better than Jonathan Taylor? The answer here is no. There are almost no running backs in the NFL that are better than Jonathan Taylor. And that's why I'm giving the Colts the win here, 28-17, officially blowing the Ravens' chances of making it into the playoffs. Here you go. You've got the Vikings taking on the Bears. It's going to be happening in Minneapolis. I think it's safe to say it was a lot less close than the scoreboard indicated in Chicago that day when the Vikings took on the Bears. I think the Bears have a chance. I just don't see them coming away with the victory here. 24-14, I'm giving it to the Vikings. Here we go now. You've got the Titans taking on the Texans. Yeah, the Titans, best case scenario for them, they have that playoff spot locked up. Best case scenario for them, they win this game, hold on to the number 1 seed, possibly get Derrick Henry back in the divisional round, and that's going to be where they really have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl and give some AFC teams problems. I think that they're going to win this game, and because of that, they keep that number 1 bye. I'm sorry, Texas, I had to do it to you, but 42-3 I think is reasonable. Here we're going to have the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. The Saints' defense has actually been playing the pass pretty well this year. It's just the run game that's been a real problem. Very similar to the Packers' defense in their situation. They need a win to get into the playoffs right here. And I think against a very weak Atlanta run game, I think that they're going to be able to do it, 34-8. If you want to beat the Saints, you have to run the ball better against them. It's what the Packers learned in week 1. It's what we saw the Eagles do as well. And I just don't see the Vikings' run offense being able to do it. I know Cordell Patterson, he's done some nice things this year as their running back, but I just don't see them having that strong of a run game. 34-8, I think the Falcons might get a score a little late, but I think that the Saints will win and now have a chance of making it to the playoffs. We'll have to see what happens in the other games as well. Seahawks at Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals are in an interesting position. They are pretty much locked in for the 5th seed. However, I don't believe that they are going to be putting their starters in. But it's a lot less likely that they're going to be resting their starters than the Packers. So I'm still going to give this one to the Seattle Seahawks just because the Cardinals might be resting, but I don't know if they will. But I think that the Cardinals will be resting their starters. I think that Kyler Murray is not going to be playing. They're going to give some of their injured players some time to come back, and hopefully they'll be for them they'll be nice and healthy to take on the number 4 seed in the wild card. And now you've got one of the most one-sided games during the week. Basically, you've got Buffalo and New York. Now, this is big because the Buffalo Bills are at that 4 seed. They do not at all want to tie record with the New England Patriots. Because right now, if the playoffs were to end right now, the Bills would be playing the Patriots at this moment. It's going to be interesting. I don't think the Bills want that. I think they're going to take this one over the Jets, 31-13. And I think they're going to win this one. Okay, Tampa Bay versus Carolina. Tampa Bay, even with those injuries, they absolutely destroyed Carolina the couple of weeks ago. I think that this week they're going to do the exact same thing, right? They could potentially be playing for the 2 seed, but they'll need a lot to happen. But yeah, they're locked into the playoffs. Don't have a lot to be playing for, but I think they're going to take this one over the Carolina Panthers. Okay, the Patriots and the Dolphins. The Patriots, like we said, I think it's a weird thing with the Patriots and the Bills. Neither team really wants to play each other. Similar with the Chargers and the Chiefs, because it's going to be a very close game, and both teams have a chance of losing as well. It's not going to be a very one-sided matchup. So I think both teams kind of want out of having to play again this season. And I think that the Dolphins winning will actually send the Patriots back, which definitely is not going to help there. Okay, the 49ers take on the Rams, right? And it's another NFC West battle. This one's big for the Rams. They have the edge over Tampa Bay. They are tied currently with the Buccaneers with that 1-game lead. They want to remain in the 2 seed. They want to be taking on either what definitely could be the 49ers, which would be interesting because it'd be the first time since 2007 where we would see a team that would play last week of the regular season and then again in the wild card round. We saw that with the Cowboys and the Eagles. So they could play either the 49ers, the Eagles, or the Saints. I think that their best shot is definitely going to be against the Eagles with that defense, with Aaron Donald and that defensive line up front. They can stop the run game, force Jalen Hurts to pass, and that could be where they can force trouble on the Eagles. If you're the Rams, I think that your best shot at winning in the wildcard round is against the Eagles. But I think they're going to win this game. It's going to be very close, but I think they're going to win this game, hold on to that number 2 seed. And, they're going to be playing the number 7 seed now in the playoffs, according to my predictions. Okay, now you've got the final game of the regular season, and I actually really liked what the NFL did. They had scheduled the games, but they had not scheduled the times for that these games would be played in. So, obviously, you want to see the most important game for prime time on Sunday, and they did exactly that. It's win or go home today. Whoever wins this game gets a playoff spot. Whoever doesn't is going home. Their season's over. Going to be such a great game. The Chargers and the here's the one thing though. The Raiders have the experience. The Chargers team is full of inexperienced players, and obviously the biggest one is their quarterback, Justin Herbert, and it's obviously the most important position in the game. I still think though they're going to be able to eat this one out of the Raiders in Las Vegas. It's going to be 30-34. Very, very close game, but I think they're going to take the win and they're going to take that final playoff spot. And okay, so that concludes this video. Be on the lookout for the kind of part 2 coming in a little bit, which will be the playoff standings if this were to play out in reality. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.